So our final week of February started off with a present for Violet that I got from the TikTok shop, which I know may sound kind of sort of silly, but I had a whole bunch of coupons from there, and this was pretty much free 99. So who would really turn that down? It ended up being a phonics game with some dice, so we can play and work on reading at the same time. I guess you're supposed to roll the dice and create a word or phrases, and the books are kind of sort of self-explanatory, I feel like, if you've already learned how to read, where you have your sound and then your words that sound like the sound. So I think they're called sight words, I believe. I think at the end of the day, what's important is that you learn to read however you learn to read, because everybody learns how to read differently. And this will also help a little bit with some speech practice and confidence in all of that. But with one new good toy in our household, of course, would have to come the downfall of another.
Okay, so it finally happened. Fortunately, I did not get hurt, but the thread snapped off of this entirely and stuck in here. But at least nobody got hurt. And guys, mercury is in the microwave with Gatorade or something again, and you should probably just stay home. If you're looking for a sign to just like stay home, doom scroll on your phone or something, clean your house, review your life's purpose, today's the day, man.
Next to your name is an O. Let's see if I can hit an O to Belmont. No?
I also tried this week to get Violet to eat some more vegetables by making a potato pizza casserole looking thing. I thought it was good, but she didn't. And that's okay, because she liked plenty of other things that happened to happen this week, including opening up all these TikTok shop packages, which had different camera stands for the car, and new socks for me that were literally as big as she is, or so it seems.
I had to turn around. What in the hell? How'd I get up there? It ain't even been windy. There's been no wind, nothing. What in the...
As beautiful as our Valentine's Day tree looked, it was definitely time for it to come down. So with a little convincing, Violet and I made a game of taking it apart and putting things in a nice, neat, organized box for next year. We started with opening up some of the fortune cookies that were on it, and then realized that these were not really all that well made. And maybe they weren't made to be used more than once, but every time we opened one of them up, it just literally ripped apart the fortune and the cookie part. So I think if nothing else, we ended up with a cool pattern idea for something that we're going to have to make ourselves and make better, I guess you could say, because this definitely does need some improvement in order to be successful, because it just was not. But it was everything that I expected from dollar store cloth fortune cookies, to be fair. So since this seems to be a little tradition that we're starting and both enjoy, I have been organizing all the ornaments and doodads and whatever we've put on each tree each month in a separate box, so that way when we get to next year and we're ready to decorate, we'll hopefully be ahead of the schedule and get things done on time, because this one did admittedly go up a little bit late, but we left it up long, well, as long as we could, because I'm actually ready for the next month with everything prepared in advance. I don't know why the Valentine's Day things got lost, but they ended up somehow in Violet's closet, which, well, her room tends to become a bit of an abyss, and I think that's truly what happened. But we'll see how long we keep this up this year. I have a feeling that as we get towards the summer months, we're going to just kind of become so busy that this is going to be forgotten for a moment in the heat and the summer and the fun that comes along with that. But I guess time will truly tell.
Yeah, you've unearthed a skating rink.
Just because there is snow and ice everywhere covering the ground does not mean that we've forgotten about the regrow garden. This week we're trying something with the little potato eyes that seem to have started to grow. I'm going to be putting them in dirt. I am truly not sure if we're going to have any results with these whatsoever. As you may have heard me talk about in the regrow garden videos, they do spray potatoes with anti-growth hormones to keep them from being propagated by consumers, which is so odd to me because if you have the time to grow potatoes and succeed in growing potatoes, you deserve the potatoes. And I don't think that these companies that are growing potatoes on our behalf should all of a sudden start controlling and moderating who can have this potato, and this potato is a copyright infringement and this, that, and the other. It all just feels really silly when at the end of the day it's a plant, and the thing that you are monetizing when you're selling plants is your skill level in growing the plants. I kind of, in a sense, feel like it could be likened to having books in a library. Everybody should be able to have access to the books in the library, but it's what you do with the knowledge in the books that counts. And I really do hope that we're able to have some type of growth with these potatoes, but you'll have to check out the regrow garden for more to see if we ever did have any success or results with these. Because as you can see from a little bit of time of just leaving the eyes alone, even though they did start to grow something, they seem kind of stalled and stunted in their growth from what they looked like when I chopped these off of the potatoes and then gave them a little bit to kind of scab over. But I gave them some water and then went ahead and moved on to the broccoli, which actually did start growing some tiny little roots. And I decided to try to put them in different containers to see if we could get anything more. I think that the part with the broccoli where I'm kind of sort of not excelling in the regrowing is the fact that you should probably use more of the crown stem instead of the florets. But it definitely is possible to propagate the florets. You just will probably have greater success if you go ahead and use the crown base instead of the little branches, I guess you could say. But either way, when I ended up putting them in the dark bottles of water, there would be sometimes where I'd go back to check on them and they would have these massive roots, absolute massive roots. So there definitely is a possibility for success with this. Will I have it or continue to follow through with it? Time will tell. But this week I did end up finding a glass propagation greenhouse looking thing for free on the side of the road, so we'll see if I can put this to some use regrowing things.
It's just pinned into the braid. Okay, so the last time I posted this, I really didn't do it as much justice as it truly deserves. I mean, look at how cool this is. And then it changes all different kinds of modes. It's just so pretty. Like a nice little starburst. Or a sun. Or like... It does. Do you want to come change the modes? Let's show them the modes.
It kind of looks like a sun. I know, a firework. I love fireworks.
Me too. Firework. All right, show them the modes. How many modes does it have? I think there's like 6.
Or 8. Let's count mode. 1,
Whoa.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think you're right. 5 out of 6.
Yeah, I think it was 6. 6 is still good. I mean, there's a wide variety. Off. So I was doom scrolling and the ad came up that's like, if you've ever had a sketchy Uber ride, come fill out this survey to see if you qualify, blah, blah. And the second that my daughter heard that, she goes, yes!
So even though it's really early in the season to be doing Easter things, we decided that we were going to try to make these bird's nests out of chocolate, pretzels, potato sticks, you name it, because we did happen to find Cadbury eggs in our local grocery store and we wanted to use them, like really, really use them. So I guess that's why they have these things in season so early, but we're gonna craft them right up. We decided that we were both going to make a different kind. Violet chose pretzel sticks and I chose potato sticks. And we mixed everything up and molded ours exactly how we thought would be cool and then pressed our little eggs into them. It was a lot of fun, and you know what? We ate these pretty quickly. Well, I ate mine pretty quickly, and Violet savored hers for a little bit. I think she thought they looked so perfect that she didn't want to eat them, and I don't blame her for that. Plus, as she said, this is a lot of work. It's fun, but it's a lot of work. And it was, so I think she savored her savory treats for as long as she could, but this is how hers came out. And I think they're so cute and perfect. And these are how mine came out. Very different, but very tasty. And I think all that crafting completely wiped me out because I ended up taking a nap later that afternoon, to which Violet came in and took 10 million funny, hilarious pictures of me trying to take a nap and her being playful and funny, but it's all good. I guess I didn't really get much napping or resting done, but such is my life, and I guess that's just quite all right. I'm sure there have been plenty of times where Violet was having a good napping sleep and I came in and woke her up because that's what our schedule required. But our schedule doesn't always require sleep and work. We definitely have plenty of time for play. And sometimes Violet is doing that playing and exploring on her own, as she did with this AI puzzle piece that I got from the TikTok shop. It's supposed to make a picture in an app, and then that picture becomes a puzzle with the colors, and you're supposed to assemble it, but that did not work out for us. Apparently, to get to the app where it builds the puzzle, you need a specific QR code. You can't get it from anywhere else. It's specifically on the box, but the way they put it on the box, it just so happened to become ripped and damaged while we were opening it, so there was no QR code for us to use, but we used our imaginations instead, and Violet made all kinds of cool little designs with these pieces. These were so small that I couldn't get them to work correctly in my fingers. I think that just maybe I have finally reached the age where these tiny things don't fit in between my clumsy hands anymore, but she made great use of them and didn't even need the little hammer that comes with the kit to bang everything in place. She just was able to snap everything together with her own little hands. I ended up finding some perler patterns online of a star and a heart because Violet was very adamant that the colors had to match what she was doing, so we went ahead and tried to make a star and a heart, which ultimately ended up becoming magnets because I had some magnetic pieces laying around. And once Violet got started with making these, she made like 1 million of them. She made all kinds of things from her imagination and completely forgot about the perler patterns, but I guess that's kind of the point. She tried to make every single member of the Paw Patrol and then accessories for them, from sunglasses to hats to all kinds of little things. She tried to make a little rainbow out of the pieces that she had and a couple of stars, but she just had a good time trying to snap all these things together, and I think she ended up using just about the whole entire box. And even some of the pups stopped by to try to help her, with Tracker holding the specific colors that she might need for the upcoming piece that she's working on. I think whatever these little snap and build pieces are great, because this was an activity that captured her attention and kept her busy for hours, which gave me, believe it or not, enough time to clean the entire kitchen a few times over. And her creations made a great addition to my nice clean refrigerator once I was done washing it inside and out. The star that she ended up making kind of cracked me up a little bit, because even though she's never seen Star Trek, this star looks so much like the badges that the characters wear on Star Trek that I just absolutely loved it, and it cracked me up a little bit inside. But here are her first 2 finished projects from this, which she ended up putting together, and I think that's absolutely adorable. It's like a V and a star, but it's a heart and a star, but it's whatever you want to imagine it to be, because if you can imagine, your brain can take you pretty far. On our last trip of the month to Walmart, we did find these cute little sprinkle jars, which Violet wanted to buy every single one of them for her baby dolls. But I'm just not sure that I want to buy a product for the packaging as much as I understand her desire to do that. And then we went home and finished off the rest of the evening with a really fun rainbow dance party. Since we had gotten a good amount of cleaning and stuff done during the course of the month and all our goals were accomplished, we had many things of which we should be celebrating. So, dance party onward. I think at this point we were just having such a good time shaking all of our sillies out that we almost forgot that this evening we were trying to stay up late to see the planetary alignment in the sky, because this rare occurrence was actually happening in a time zone where Violet is likely to be awake, and we didn't want to miss it. So we didn't want to use all of our energy, but we definitely had to shake some of it out. This unicorn has been with us for literally ever, and sometimes Violet likes to try to pretend to ride it around the house. If only you could go on a unicorn ride. How cool would that be? But soon enough, the sun was ready to set and the stars were ready to come out, so we bundled up to go outside and take a quick look at this planetary alignment and see if we could see the entire thing before heading to bed and starting a new month.
I'll have to check in 1 second, but there's one planet. There's 2 planets. And then there's like the 3 and 4 clusters like down over there beyond the trees. And then there's like...
Can you like zoom in all the way to outer base?
I zoomed in as close as I could. There was one over here, but I don't see it anymore. Should we walk back over this way to try to see the other ones again?
No.
Okay. So now I've lost sight of the one that is down there. And then there's this one.
Which one is
And then that one's just risen over the top of the trees. Okay, so this is like probably the same planet in that alignment. But I think that's as far as we're getting with this, because it is freaking cold. Alright, one last look, I guess, at these planets. Because you can definitely see some of it. Ooh, I'm about to fall in the snow like you did that time. There's 1, 2.